Good morning, everybody. Boy, last night's presidential debate was a debacle, like we probably all knew it was going to be. What a train wreck. I can't help but get on here and speak to this political matter. I try to stay out of politics because politics can get pretty ugly. But I'm just shocked by CNN. I am just completely shocked by them because, first of all, let me just say, there's a reason that Fox has over 2 million viewers, Fox News, MSNBC over 1 million, and CNN barely has 500,000. What was even more of a train wreck than the debate itself was the talking heads afterwards. And because we ditched our cable, we ditched our DirecTV years ago because we couldn't afford it anymore, and it wasn't worth the money because the service was horrible. I couldn't just easily switch over to something like MSNBC or Fox News or PBS or anything where you're going to be told the truth. It was unbelievable, the talking heads after this debate, because the Democratic Party has been trying to convince the American people that Biden's just fine for the last 4 years, when there was evidence 4 years ago that he had hopefully early stage dementia. But folks, dementia doesn't get better, it only gets worse. We knew 4 years ago there were signs he had dementia. They actually expect us to believe that he's been doing great for the last 3.5 years and just suddenly he's losing his mind? How can the Democratic Party think the American people are this dumb? And what's scary is that they act shocked that he did bad in that debate. They act shocked. How did they think he would do well? They actually think we believe them, that behind closed doors he's a very intelligent person with his mind intact. It's sad. It's tragic. This man shouldn't have ran 4 years ago. He should have quit while he was ahead. I felt so sorry for Biden. But then to hear the talking heads talk about Trump lied about this, Trump lied about this, and they're not calling Biden out on the same lies he's been telling over and over again. So let's break it down here, folks, okay? Starting with Charlottesville. Even Snopes, a liberal fact checker, they're very liberal, has had to admit that Trump never did anything to condone neo-Nazism or KKK or any of that other extreme, dangerous rhetoric and nonsense that came out of Charlottesville. The liberal talking heads want to ad nauseum keep trying to convince the American people that Trump said neo-Nazis and KKK are great people, when he clearly said, look it up on Snopes.com. He clearly said there were good people on both sides of this protest in Charlottesville, but that Nazism, KKK, all of that racist, hateful ideology should be condemned. He clearly said that. Now let's fast forward to January 6th. Look, I'm no Trump supporter. I'm no Biden supporter. It's sad that this is what this country has come to, that we have two very divisive characters that we have to choose from. But I'm tired of the lies being told by liberal media, okay? January 6th, Trump went on video saying, go home. Please, I love you. Go home. Don't do this. He told the people who breached the Capitol, go home. He said that. Go home. And we still want to blame him because he got his supporters riled up to the... I mean, look, these people need to take responsibility for their own actions. You can't blame it on one person who said, let's be peaceful, and then told them to go home. I'm tired of the liberal media lying to us over and over again and thinking we have amnesia as bad as Biden. 4 years ago, we knew Biden probably had early stage, on-stage dementia. Now it's so sad and so pathetic that you can't blame him for necessarily for any quote-unquote lies he told in the debate, because, well, either side really, they couldn't take notes with them. Why would the Democratic Party do this in June? Put that man out in June with no notes, like they're setting him up for failure. Look, if the Democratic Party does not do whatever it takes to get someone else to run against Trump, they deserve to lose. How are American people going to believe that Biden is going to win fair and square? And I'm tired of this whole January 6th debate too, because there is evidence. They can deny it till they're blue in the face. I know people who have done their research. There is evidence that there was voter fraud 4 years ago, and the courts refused to take a look at that evidence. They refused. If they had done that 4 years ago, we wouldn't be having the same conversation. So this is so ridiculous. And the talking heads want to talk about Trump said he'd be dictator from day one. Fact check this, folks. He made a joke and he needs to stop joking. Trump has foot in the mouth itis. It's almost as embarrassing as Biden. But they need to fact check that too, because what Trump said is he made a joke, I'll be dictator on day one but not day two, because he's going to close the borders. It's pretty sad if a president has to be a dictator to do what it takes to defend this country. Now, did Trump go overboard with all his rhetoric about who's flooding in to our country? Yes, they're not all rapists and murderers, okay? That needs to stop. But there are bad and good people flooding our borders, tens of thousands on a daily basis, because of the failure of the Democratic Party. The government has gotten too large, too corrupt. Both sides lie to us, and I'm tired of it. We, the people, need to do what's best for this nation. And number one, we need a strong president who's going to defend our nation, defend our borders, and protect our military. Okay? And someone who's going to be good for the economy. We're not better off now than we were 4 years ago. Wake up, people. If the Democratic Party is failing this country with lies and deception, the American public has a right to know who's really been running this country the last 4 years, because as sure as hell isn't Biden. It's whoever is pulling his strings. If you're not sick and tired of being lied to by the left, something's wrong. I'm not anti-Democratic Party, but I will say this. I forget when it was. I think it's when Obama was running for the president. 1 year, the Democratic National Convention denied God 3 times. 3 times that week at the Democratic National Convention. I think it's when Obama was running for office the first time, but it may have been when he was running for the second. But fact check that. No wonder we're in the state we are in today. And abortion, do your research there too. Trump never said, that I have found, that he would sign something making abortion illegal across the country. He's always said it should be left up to the states. Now, anyone who was happy when Roe v. Wade was overturned, it was a heartbreaking day. It was a heartbreaking day for this country when Roe v. Wade passed the way it did 51 years ago, but it was an equally heartbreaking day when it was overturned, because I knew there were a lot of women who were concerned. But look, women, we need a government that makes it possible for us financially to have the support we need to be able to choose life. Yes, it should be a choice between the woman and her doctor, but no doctor should be forced to perform abortions, number one. No taxpayer should ever have to pay for abortions, number two. And Trump is right that there were late-term abortions happening before Roe v. Wade was overturned, and there were babies that were born alive of botched abortions that were then allowed to die. I'm not saying the government supports this, but people have turned a blind eye to just how far out of control this abortion issue has gotten. Trump has been very outspoken with the Republican Party, say don't push any further. You leave it up to the states. Don't push any further. Trump said during the debate there are exceptions: rape, incest, the health of the mom. And it should be a choice between a woman and her doctor, but nothing is anymore. You need pain pills, your doctor can't prescribe what you need when your tolerance increases because the insurance won't pay for it. We haven't had a situation in this country for a long time where we had the freedom for it to be between a patient and the doctor. It's always between a patient and the doctor and the pharmacy and the DEA, etc., etc., etc. So it was a debacle on both sides. No one said what they're going to do for the rising cost of childcare. No one said what they're going to do for, what was the other issue that was completely ignored? It was a debacle on both sides. But how can anyone vote for Biden? Democrat Party, wake up. get another candidate in there before it's too late. Because the confidence in the American people had, we were lied to by the press secretary. We were lied to last night by Kamala Harris. No one can actually be so ignorant unless they have dementia themselves to think Biden has had it together these last 4 years. It's sad. It's sad. He should have quit while he was ahead. And look at his track record, people. Voting records don't lie. He's no friend of minorities. His voting record shows that. I'm not saying he's a bad man. He may be a very good man, like the commentator whose face I recognize, but I don't remember his name, on CNN. A black man was almost in tears saying, I love that guy. Okay, great. He's a wonderful person, maybe, but a lousy president. That's just the fact. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. Trump should have laid off of him because he was just... Biden is his own worst enemy because he's feeble. Did you see the rally he went to afterwards? He thinks he did a good job. It's sad. The people around Biden have failed that man, and they are failing this country. The Democratic Party, you better get your act together. Because you know what I've seen since you denied God three times? Your own mental illness. It's like the Democratic Party has gone crazy. They have lost touch with the American people. They have lost touch with the things that really concern the average citizen. And they've hung their hats on this liberal progressive agenda that's dividing our nation. We need to come together and find joint solutions around abortion, joint solutions around gun control, joint solutions around civil rights. Joint solutions. No, I don't think either candidate's very good at that, but I've completely lost all faith in the Democratic Party. They have shown the fruits of their labor. They deny God 3 times, and our country's going to hell in a handbasket. We need to be praying for this nation. This is going to be a bad election, folks. I care about the whole world, but I care about this nation first and foremost, because this is where I'm forced to live. We need to be praying for this nation. It would be almost comical seeing the Democratic Party reap the harvest of what they sowed, denying God 3 times. Except the American people are suffering for it. Wake up, Democratic Party. Get your stuff together. The country deserves better.